All right, welcome back to the Sunday sales meeting. We are your hosts, Brett and Matt. Last week we were talking about all kinds of conspiracy theories and just, aliens, just things that pop into our head, and pretty much anything and everything that you can't talk about in a sales office or any type of office or work setting at all. So here we are. Happy 4th of July, everybody, from yesterday, or I guess belated 4th of July. Which, by the way, did you see that President Trump decided to use 85,000 munitions, which munitions is kind of a funny word, but when it comes to, of course, they said munitions instead of fireworks. But for people who don't understand, that's 85,000 fireworks for the fireworks show last night, which we had our fireworks show here, but 85,000 fireworks, dude.
Did you watch it?
I saw clips of it.
I didn't see any of it.
I saw obviously the clips of the grand finale, which is
just a giant his face.
I wonder what like a drone show.
Yeah, exactly. That's almost cheaper.
I wonder if you could see it from space.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
But we'd have to go to space first.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
that's very true.
I don't know. That's not true. No, we can't say that's not true.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't know. We have no stance on whether or not we've been to space.
Is it legal to, if we wanted to shoot a rocket off? And,
just anyone?
Yeah. Or send a balloon as high as you can go, does it eventually?
I feel like people will show up in jets and shoot it down.
I do too. But that Chinese balloon got away with it.
That's true.
What do you think that was about?
I think it was about the weather, as per YouTube's rules and regulations. No, I'm just kidding. No, I don't know. Maybe it was just a spy balloon, or somebody just launched one. Maybe it wasn't even China, and we just blamed it on China.
Yeah, that's true.
Because we tend to blame stuff on everybody but ourselves. But
it seems hard to believe that would go so long. With your history, does that make sense?
What do you mean?
It would just float for so long without being detected.
Yeah, how long do you think it was up there? Did they launch it and it was up there a couple days and then we just shot it down?
I don't know.
Why did we even shoot it down? Why not just
what if it had anthrax?
Grab it and bring it down and just look at it and be like, what is this?
It could be a psyop.
Imagine shooting something down and then being like, well, let's try to figure out who sent it. And it's like, well, we can't because you blew off the nameplate.
Yeah, exactly. How does that work? It kind of reminds me of another thing too, but I'll save that. But yeah, seriously, what if it was full of COVID-2 and then there's
the hantavirus?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they just sent it up just to see what we would do to it.
That's true. Who's they?
Who's they? Or whoever sent it.
That's true. Do you think? I don't know. It's interesting. That kind of reminded me of that. Do you ever see that missing flight? That went missing.
MH370.
Yeah.
Or 730.
Mm-hmm.
The one with the orbs that kind of went around.
Yes, bro. I'm so glad that you've seen it.
Yeah.
That video's crazy, bro.
Where do you think it is? Do you think it just went to another? Did it come back or no? Or no? Because the whole thing was it disappeared.
Right. The mainstream documentary, I saw one on one of these streaming services that said some guy went out and tried to find all the pieces and they found some at some island, but it seemed really suspicious and set up. And some other guy was saying that they got teleported to some military base with some high tech stuff. I don't know if that's true or not. Almost seems like it's just they're dead or something. I
don't know, you ever heard about that ghost ship that came in and just came floating into the harbor in Pittsburgh or somewhere like that, or in Philly or something, and people were welded to the walls and stuff? No?
Wait, you're talking about the
Philadelphia
experiment, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah.
The Philadelphia experiment. That's what it is. Yeah.
No, I've heard of that, where it's almost like teleportation, time travel, and all that. And then, they're literally welded into the... Yeah, that's crazy. Almost ties into like Tesla and stuff and all kinds of stuff, but
How?
just the electricity part.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but because the time travel, they say like he figured out time travel and stuff like that with electricity.
Do you think Elon's close to being dealt with in a similar way to Nikola Tesla?
I don't know. It
'Cause
almost
he's pushing like the solar energy, which is like, I'm not sure if like how it works. Like if you buy a solar panel, do you just pay for the solar panel, or do you pay
For
like a
them?
monthly electric bill but it's lower? Like so, like how do they charge you for the sun? You know?
yeah. That's hard to judge. What do you get?
Or do you just-
charge for exactly? No pun
Yeah.
intended.
Or is it like a phone where you can buy it outright, or you can include the payment for your phone in your phone bill? Like you just buy the panel. Like what if you have enough money and you just bought the panel and you have it installed and then bam, free energy?
I've-
Why wouldn't there be a billion people doing that, you know?
Yeah, it's hard to almost like wire everything up after that. But like, what your first question about the Elon thing? It could either be he's like a savior or like a wolf in sheep's clothing. You know what I mean? Because if you think about it, I've heard some theories. Like, have you ever heard?
I like to think that he's like not like, I wouldn't say like a savior, but like definitely has good intentions,
It would
like
be
truly.
nice.
But there's also like, what if
You never know.
what if he's creating?
The chips in the head kind of scares me.
Yeah.
That part's like a little bit like,
Well, what if somebody hacks them?
right.
Or they have a little like short. What if they get shorted
Yeah.
somehow or something?
Get hit by electricity or of any
Or a
kind.
signal.
Yeah.
Just you seen Kingsman?
It's been a while. The
British spy movie with
yeah.
the suits and stuff.
It's been a while.
Well, like the guy who plays the villain Samuel L. Jackson, he has like this phone company where they release like a whole bunch of phones, and then the whole world has them, and he makes them really cheap, and then they like emit a signal and make everybody start killing each other.
That'd be crazy. That would be crazy. Cause like you know what I thought about. I don't know if I got this off of YouTube or something like that, but if you combine all of his stuff together, it's almost odd because he's got the Boring Company, Starlink, the robots, the chips in the head. Some people have speculated, what if he?
SpaceX.
Yes, and then what if he's like some sort of figure from back in the day that like Nimrod trying to battle with heaven, because that would be a way to do it too. But I don't know.
What do you mean battle with heaven? Like
Like what
he's
if he's
coming up with some kind of like
rockets, robots, cyborgs? You want to battle angels? I know that sounds off the wall, but
no, that's what we're here for.
you know what I'm saying?
We're here for off the wall.
Because if you think about it, it's kind
That'd be
of
interesting. He's just like
he's got an
built
army.
some kind of
he's
like
building.
mecha suit.
Maybe,
And he just
maybe. Honestly,
and you just see like a meme of him like flying through the sky, and then there's like some angel like coming down with like a flaming
Yeah.
sword, and it's just like you see this whole like back in the day there was a prophecy about, and you see it like sketched in the wall somewhere in a cave, and you're like, oh my god, that's Elon.
it looks just like Elon. But you never know. I mean, it's hard to say.
He turns on his suit and he's just like, you know, like you know how he like shrugs.
Yes.
I feel like I do that too in a different way. Like everybody has like their little nervous tick, but like he has like that shrug thing that he kind of does when he like turns his head. It's like, oh, what is that? Is that his touch of the tism? Like,
Gotta be.
because we always like everybody's got a touch of the tism now, especially everybody after like the 90s, I think.
Right.
But
But it'd be, if you think about it, he's gonna be like the most powerful man. I mean, not that he isn't one of the most powerful men in the world, but he's gonna have so much access to so much stuff if he's like, invade this country, and he's got 1 million Tesla bots and all these people that got brain chips, and grandma's out there fighting for Elon Musk because she had Alzheimer's and now she's like on the fucking
that would
battlefield.
be crazy.
Oh shit!
She turns into like a T-1000. She's out
Kicks you
there.
through the door. Damn. Honestly, I haven't really thought that much
Well,
on that.
we already have drone warfare, and that's
Scary.
crazy.
That is scary.
And we don't even really have stuff to like shoot them down because they're so fast. Like I've seen. Have you seen some of the like drone like race videos or like where they like take off and some of them are like like they're gone.
Really?
Yeah, and it's just an electric battery with little plastic propellers, dude. And they're just
miles and miles. We got.
And they have long range too. Like you can sit here and like, I don't know what the specs are on some drones.
Military ones gotta be just.
Yeah, but take the drones that we have for the public, and then make it a military drone, and you just like strap a little grenade to it, and you just drop it.
I heard that's what they were gonna do. Do you hear about the terrorist attacks on the White House for the UFC event?
Oh, they were gonna do a little drone strike.
I guess some guy was planning.
Drop some nades in the ring.
I guess.
Instead of dropping bows, they're just dropping nades.
Oh.
And we did say, speaking of the UFC and the ring at the White House, we did say last week that this week we would be talking about Roman Empire a little bit and how it seems like the U.S. has which not saying this is a bad thing, and this is for educational purposes only, of course, but how the let me just say that one more time, for educational purposes only, how the U.S. has brought a little bit of the Roman culture with us after all this time, but also how the Romans didn't, when it comes to Jesus and the Bible and stuff, they persecuted Jesus. So it's and I could have sworn I remember eventually they took up Christianity, later. And I'm not sure.
Well, there's the Roman Catholic Church.
Yeah, the Roman Catholic Church. So there's kind of eventually they believed in God and Jesus, and I'm not sure how
some say
Catholics do it, but
the Roman Empire fell, but secretly it was the church. Because there's a lot of. Do you know what
They just changed the name.
Right, almost rebranded.
Same company, new manager.
Right. It's like some company getting caught with E. coli in their lettuce, and they're like, you know what, we're gonna change our logo. Or something.
Rebranding.
Yeah.
But so if you think about it, so football is in a coliseum technically. The arena looks just like a coliseum.
It does.
All these people come in from the side doors, and then everything just happens down on a field in front of you. And so the same thing with the UFC. You fill up a coliseum, an arena, or MGM Grand in Vegas or something like that, and they have the UFC fight in there, and those guys are just shirtless and shorts, just like gladiators.
Mm-hmm.
And they go in there and they fight to the death. Not to the death, but
right, as
they're
much
definitely
as you can.
Bloodied up at the end of it.
How's there never been
it's
a death? How's there?
I think there has been.
But
it's very uncommon.
Yeah. I watch it all the time, and there's never. I bet you anything though, if there really was a death, it's probably some movie, and they hide it, or they do something, or they try to bring you back to life in the back, and they're like, "Hey, he's been fine." Because it was weird. One time I watched. Maybe.
No, I'm just kidding.
One time I watched.
We're not taking any stances here. We're just speculating, and mainly just joking around. But
one time I seen a chick get punched, and literally her eye was blackened. It was weird. It was
instantly.
Yeah, not a black eye, the eyeball.
Wow.
And I was like, dang, she's blind. And they didn't say nothing about it after that. And I forget even who it was, but I was like, okay, so she got hurt there. They might be hiding it, if they really get messed up and stuff.
Well, I mean, if you've watched old UFC and all the rules that have changed since then, I don't think you can drop elbows anymore. Where they get on top of them and they drop an elbow in their face. I think you have to well, no, you can't go like this.
Right, 12
but you can go like this. So you can't. But they used to do a spin, and they just hit them in the. Dude, the rules have changed now, and they still walk out super bloody, majority of the time.
Did you end up seeing any of that UFC White House card?
No, did you?
Yeah, that
really?
that
it was Justin. I know, Gaethje.
Mm-hmm.
Justin Gaethje
versus Taporia. He was a Spanish dude,
Oh, okay, yeah.
but he got messed up. Like he looked so jacked up after. I'm like, damn man, how do you even fully heal from that?
I don't know. They have. I mean, as long as it's nothing too serious, like I don't know, the body shots sometimes like they walk out with like a cracked rib and this and that. Like you take a kick from one of those guys to the ribs or to the kidneys, and you're just like, I don't know, go home peeing blood for like a couple
Right.
days.
I don't
And
think the pay's that worth it.
Then they
either.
come back and do it again, bro. These guys are insane.
They're nuts, bro.
Um,
But yeah, the whole Coliseum thing, it's
but
interesting.
just picture the whole thing like from a bigger picture. It's in a like Coliseum. I know this is on like the White House lawn, but like typically it's in a Coliseum. But the fact that like back in the Roman times, the king or Caesar of the time and his wife would be like sitting there like watching it happen, and they're like cheering on
Right.
and stuff, and
Exactly like that.
choosing like oh
Right,
kill him. But so Melania Trump's out there and Trump is out there and they're watching it, and it's just kind of like, huh, you know, and they're dressed nicely, obviously, and so were the Caesars at the time. They're like they're
Right.
wearing their best clothes for it. I mean, everybody else in the crowd, they're just wearing a hoodie and some like fight T-shirt or something like tap
Right.
out, tap out jeans, bedazzled jeans, and a tap out shirt. But yeah, it just reminds me of like the Roman Colosseum.
It seems a lot like it. Have you heard of them Jesuits and stuff like that?
Jesuits?
Mm-hmm.
What are those?
It's like the fighting force of the Catholic Church. Not many people have heard of it. It's kind of weird, but whenever you look it up, let me pull one up real quick. Some people say this is behind a lot of stuff secretly, because they say there's like a pope, and then they say there's a black pope, and then the black pope rules the Jesuits.
So if you guys want to know what we're looking at, it's actually a bunch of people in suit, like all black suits. So we're saying the Black Pope. Well, I've seen the Pope wear like all black, but isn't there like white or like gold? And his little like his little pointy hat and his like dress robe looking stuff.
Yeah. Let's see.
When did they take up Christianity or like Catholicism and stuff? Like when did the Romans decide to? Because what was their religion before? It was like all the Roman gods, right?
Yeah, like Jupiter and shit.
Okay, yeah.
Around 380 AD. They switched
380 years later.
They switched from what you would call
380 years later, they're like, maybe that guy that we crucified was correct.
Right. Isn't it crazy? I heard.
So I guess we didn't. I was incorrect. We didn't just bring some like traits of like what's the word? Traditions. We didn't only bring some traditions, but there's like in our money, in our coins, there's hints of like Rome everywhere.
There is.
And,
the eagle is like a constant thing. They even say the eagle with the Nazis, and the eagle
eagle with the Nazis.
Because the Nazis had an eagle too.
You're right.
Yeah, a lot of them did, and they say like that symbolizes Zeus, because Zeus had an eagle, but you also hear of him having a raven, I think. But Zeus is Jupiter. You know, it's crazy.
Is that why the Vikings like believe so much in like ravens being part of their like religious system?
I believe so. I think that they worshipped Odin too, and Odin had a raven. Like Odin's raven, like from Anchorman.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
But Odin's interesting though. But they're all kind of similar in a way. But Odin, he like lost his eye for wisdom. That was like his big thing. And he's like, I think he's part of like the Druid tradition too. But it's pretty crazy. It seems like all these, and then I'm like, why did they make Jupiter instead of just saying Zeus?
because they always say like the Vikings would say that a raven is a sign from Odin, so like they don't like follow the raven, or like if they're trying to decide something and then a raven shows up, they're like, oh well, this must be what we do then. But yeah, so like not just like the Colosseums, but like I think like some of the way that we might like govern a little bit is the Rome had like a government, and like the Caesars had their advisors, so it's kind of similar. I mean, to me, most governments look the same because like the emperor has advisors for like the emperor of. Does China have an emperor? No, they have a president.
Yeah, it seems like they have a president. I don't know.
But like Britain has a king, and the king has like advisors to the king and stuff like that.
Prime minister too.
Prime minister,
Yeah.
bishops and stuff like that. So it's like we all basically have the same setup, but different like ways of governing, like different beliefs.
Right.
And then we add the religions in there, so like the way that we decide to govern also has to do with our belief system, and then I guess that's what diversifies us. But if you think about it, like Rome and the Colosseums and the way they govern, and then like we just had our 250-year anniversary, and we're still doing things like they did then, but what if they were just continuing on? So Rome is like, maybe Rome's here, but we just kind of put a different name on it.
Yeah, that makes sense, honestly. And then like
A rebranding.
yeah, then we got E. coli, and then we had to change our brand, our logo. But and then Rome, like their biggest thing was their army and taking over and control and stuff like that. And then that was also, I mean, our defense budget's the highest and all that.
Well,
Similar
it's
mindset.
similar to exactly what we're doing. Like we're not like taking over all these places per se. Maybe we are, but like there's always seems to be some kind of good motive behind it. Like we captured that Maduro guy, and you know the people were happy about that because they were, you know, visibly celebrating about it. But like Venezuela, and then I think there was talks of like, there's always talks about Taiwan, because Taiwan's like in between us and China, and yeah, between us and China, and Taiwan's like actually has like a crazy ground force.
Yeah, they
Like their combat is like Taiwan combat, like Thai fighting. I think that's what they call them. They're Thai fighters. Those dudes are deadly.
like Muay Thai.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Those guys like, but they don't have an air force or a navy really. So like, you know, you can invade, but like once you get on the land, you're kind of on their court after that. But I'm pretty sure we've gone back and forth with China about like, because strategically, just like Greenland, because there was a whole thing with like Trump wanting to buy Greenland, which is crazy. It's kind of like monopoly. Like you have a certain amount of money, and you know technically everything's for sale. So you know if you offer enough, just buy it. But I guess strategically, Taiwan is like set in like a good spot, and so you could easily just be like, well, it's a military strategic point for our safety and homeland security, so we should take it so that somebody else does it and is just closer to us.
No, yeah.
Maybe that's why we got Alaska.
Right.
Because
right
Alaska is literally, dude, on the map, Alaska's like this far away from Russia.
Isn't that insane?
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like it, but it totally is.
Then there used to be like a land strait that like, you know, water went underwater after some time, but a land bridge there or no?
I don't know. Maybe. Honestly. But one thing about the Venezuela thing too, though, is some people speculate, because he was one of the only people not trying to go with the U.S. dollar. So if you believe in that banker kind of conspiracy, he was
the banks run the world type thing.
Right. He was one of the people behind trying to branch off from that, and anybody trying to branch off from that kind of gets. And then there's other people that think everybody's connected, even that guy's a character in the world stage. You know, it's just as deep as you think it is.
Well, even last time we were on the podcast, we were talking about how TV shows and movies and stuff are sometimes movies, and then sometimes it seems like they're like warnings. Well, if you think about, like, I know you haven't seen Game of Thrones, but anyways, we're back after a brief break. So time to deep dive, and it's time to go ham per se.
You could say.
So the theory behind Maduro and them.
Oh, Maduro. So some people think the Illuminati has characters everywhere. So he would just be another actor. They bring him in, whoever they are, like the bankers or the you-know-whos or the you-know-whats. Bring these people in and then just use them temporarily, like Saddam Hussein or whoever. And then...
So they're like an entity that they either control or freely does it, and then they just will take over a new body and be that person.
Well, that too, or just like on a very surface level, it could be just an actor. Say they got this guy working for some government agency, and they're like, hey, we're gonna infiltrate Venezuela, you're gonna be this new guy. Then they get on board, they become this, they start taking orders for a while, and then they go rogue. Or that could have been Fidel Castro type situation. And then other people think even deeper down the rabbit hole, hope this makes sense, even deeper down the rabbit hole, think that like fallen angels play different characters on the world stage. So like this fallen angel, Beelzebub or Beelzebub will come in there and be like, hey, I'm gonna play Saddam Hussein. Yeah, Beetlejuice. And then we'll come in there and play Saddam Hussein, and then also play Maduro, and then they kind of look alike.
To set the what's the word that everybody's using? Narrative?
Yeah. Basically just...
Okay, so if you're going to have a story, which is a narrative, you got to have characters.
Right.
If you want to control the narrative, you got to have either all the characters in the story on the same page, or one character playing all of the characters.
Right. Yeah. Just like a movie. I mean, same production company. Let's say the production company is Illuminati Productions.
Yeah.
And then, oh, this is the bad guy, this is the good guy, but really they're all working for fucking Illuminati Productions. At the end of the day, they're getting their paycheck from Illuminati Productions, but people are like, hey, Superman! But Lex Luthor is also, they're just even, they just both, it's like WWE. Basically. Bro.
Dude.
The world's WWE.
That's actually crazy. You know how many people are still don't believe that it's fake?
Oh, I know. It's nutty, bro.
It's
what do
crazy.
you mean it's fake? But for real, there's people that believe that, man. Yeah, what if all sports are fake and we're just too stupid to realize it?
Sometimes when I watch TV or any kind of content, it's almost like they're on the other side.
What if they are?
And like they watch us react to what they're doing while we watch them
On
do
some
their
level.
play.
What if, I mean, what if
like they're in a whole different, think about it, they're in a different tax bracket. They're in different, a lot of them live in like different cities or whatever. Like, sure, there's like regular people that live near them, but like it's almost like the theory of
they get home, they watch us like the Truman Show.
Yeah, and they get home and they watch us.
That'd be crazy.
Like, what if
on some level
what if they make the
what.
fake movies and we make the real movies? Like, it's,
that makes sense.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. I get exactly what you
because we like reality TV shows,
right.
but what if they're watching?
And they
What
just
if
love
what if they
watching it.
can see somehow? Like, what if there was some technology which we don't know what they have?
No,
But
we don't even know how a TV came about, really.
no,
Like, from,
like scientifically, I'm sure somebody like Neil
Right.
deGrasse Tyson would get on here and be
Wikipedia.
like, "Well, I'll tell you how it's done."
yeah, it's this.
You want to know something crazy?
But really,
You want to blow your mind?
I mean, if two dudes were just, if me and you were just sitting here, TVs never existed, would we ever just come up with a TV?
Yeah.
That's wild, dude.
maybe television is like one of those fallen angel teachings.
Seems like it, because you know how they say you have to let a vampire in. Have you seen like Sinners?
Yeah.
It highlights that. Like,
Yeah.
we're letting them in. You literally have a guest in your house, like in a way.
Yeah.
They're just not 3D.
Digitally.
They're 2D.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So like,
People are just
that's
on there.
almost the other.
Somebody's a murderer. They're just there.
What was the other thought I was thinking of? There was
Their thoughts are just allowed in your house. That's crazy. Really.
I mean,
I wonder
If-
Amish.
maybe that's with the whole entity thing. Like, some people think like, oh, turn your phone off. Don't turn your Bluetooth on because they're listening. Like, well, I don't. But if they can get to us through our dreams, like some people think, like they can just manipulate you in the dream state because you like leave your body and they're supposedly interdimensional. So
Right. They can
they can-
grab you there.
yeah, they can get you there. And
You're not
you can-
tethered to the earthly
Yeah.
realm.
Yeah. Well, like, why would they need to do it through a TV though? Maybe
Maybe
there's
they-
different groups and entities that have to use other methods.
I agree. I've always thought there's something. You know how like in Yu-Gi-Oh or like things like that, there's a cartoon world. There's a toon world. What if the toon world is like some hell like that they belong to 2D? They're trapped in the 2D, but somehow they could mess with the 3D. I don't know. That'd be wild.
There was something I was gonna mention about like the whole like different realm. Like maybe they're on that side of the screen, we're on this side of the screen. Oh, the lottery theory. I have this theory about the lottery that it's not real. It's just like nobody like. Who do you know that's ever won? Like the jackpot lottery.
Nobody. And that reminds
Have you ever
me of
met
something I wish I
anybody
could
that
book
knows
more.
somebody?
No.
Me neither.
But that's almost like that with celebrities too.
Yeah.
If
Like,
you really think about it. But
Well,
keep going. Don't quit that thought.
I didn't meet Harrison Ford, but he was at so the air shows that I've gone to in Oshkosh. There was a movie he did called 40 Days and 40 Nights. It's about a plane crash.
But growing up with them, I mean, because
Yeah,
I've met a
like-
celebrity here and there, but
Yeah,
like
but
growing
like,
up.
nobody met them before.
Right.
But
Whether grown in the lab.
I mean, and this is a deep dive rabbit hole. Like, we're not saying celebrities don't exist.
No, we're just
But, like-
speculating. I
but,
mean, we're not
I
even
mean-
speculating. We're just talking about things.
I've never met one, but but I mean,
I met a weird celebrity. I'll tell you in a sec too.
Harrison Ford was there at the they had this place called the Fly-In Theater. So you go, basically it's a drive-in theater and everybody sits there. And they call it a Fly-In Theater because it's at an air show, and it's this big blow-up screen and you watch, huge movies on there. But the movie that was playing was 40 Days and 40 Nights, and he was there, and he happens to be, really big into airplanes.
He wishes he could fly, so he's a fallen angel. No.
John Travolta is actually a pilot.
Oh,
He's
really?
got his pilot's license, yeah.
They say he's a fallen angel too. Some people.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense because if you're trapped in an earthly body, you still want to be able to fly.
Huh.
I mean, I'm just throwing crap
That's
out
what
there.
we're here for.
I'm the wild.
We're here to
you know?
throw crap
I'm
out there and
wild.
just speculate.
But it makes sense. And then there's a lot of hidden things with all that stuff. But
He was
Keep
there, and it was like, we're at the back of the crowd, so he's like, like 50 rows of people up there at the front, and he's like this little tiny, like, person up there.
it's like a double. It's like Harrison Ford's just at home sleeping.
Yeah. It's not even him.
Right.
But, like, it was cool to, like, wow. It's almost like you see a unicorn, you're like, oh my god. Like, whoa, that's a celebrity. But then, like, you get older, and like my wife hates it, but I call most celebrities like by their name, like,
Right.
oh, isn't that Tom? Like, well, that's kind of vague or broad because there's like 20 British actors all named Tom. You got
Right.
Tom Hardy, Tom Holland, Tom Hiddleston,
Right.
all 3 in Marvel movies, by the way.
So it gets a little tricky.
You got Tom Hanks, American, but Tommy Lee Jones, like, there's a lot of. That's the other thing is like Tom Cruise. Why do all these actors, have such, like, a lot of them have basic names, unless if you,
Stage names, maybe,
stage names.
that you never
Ooh.
know. Maybe there's something to
Interesting.
those names, like biblically that we don't know about, or something that means something to like some hidden occult reasoning behind it. Because like the name like Peter will be used a lot and stuff, and that'll always tie back to, because this is a whole different topic, but like Peter has been known, because like in the Bible Jesus says, get away from me, Satan, or something like that to Peter. And then some people think that he might be a bad guy, Peter versus Paul, that whole dynamic.
Yeah, Paul and Saul. Well, he did change his name to Peter, because
Right.
he used to be Simon. So he changes his name to Peter, and but no, I don't recall the story about him getting upset with Peter, or is he like?
People
Why is he
interpret
saying
it
get
both.
away from Satan? Get away from me.
He's trying to do something, and then Peter does something to prevent him from that, and then he's like, basically, it's my destiny in a way, and says, get behind me, Satan, or get behind me, Satan, or something like that, and calls him that. And some people speculate maybe there's something to. It's the people that think the Catholic Church
Is it when he was stopping him from like turning himself into the Romans, or
maybe.
Yeah. Which is crazy because, like we were talking about earlier, the Romans do that, and then they take up 300 years later they take up the religion, and they believe in it now.
But if you think about it, like let's really deep dive and speculate if Satan was possessing Peter, and then
To keep him from, because
finishing the job, bro.
finishing the job.
Yep.
Because Satan wouldn't want. Yeah, he wouldn't want that to go through because it's a statement. It's a.
Yep.
You know,
It
it wasn't
finishes
there
the game,
just to.
bro.
Yeah.
It's over after that. He dies. We live.
And then for thousands of years later, we're still talking about Jesus.
Yeah.
So it's like.
He tried to stop it. He's like, no. And then he like tried to be like, no, please, you don't deserve that, God. And he's like, wow, bitch.
Yeah.
Get behind me, Satan.
He smacks him like.
Fuck you.
You ever seen Dragon Ball Z Abridged?
Is it like that?
Yeah, it's like the comedy version with like voiceovers.
It's hilarious.
There's one scene where Piccolo like smacks the shit out of
Really?
Gohan.
I love Piccolo.
He's like, have a nice climb back up, bitch.
It's like that. But, you know, and then the Bible's been changed so many times. Like, some people say King James, like, was like
I
all this
always wondered
evil
that.
stuff, you know? And
I
then,
always
like, he,
wondered,
like, fitted it into this
why
thing.
is it called the King James version? Like, did he... Well, you know, some people will be like, well, they retranslated the Bible and during King James's time, so they called it King James Version. But, you know, with the theory about J.D. Rockefeller and the history books and
Same thing.
like teaching all the science books teaching us that oil is a fossil fuel, and when technically, like,
You don't know that.
I've heard that the Earth makes it,
I believe
you know,
and some people,
produces it.
yeah, some people say it's like Sheol or something. It's like the blood of the earth, and just What if it's
It just cycles
Yeah.
out. But
Yeah.
at the same time, if you think about, like, you know, the Earth isn't the same as humans, but like we only have a finite amount of blood too. So like we can only give blood so many times.
what if oil is just humans?
Well, that's what they say. Like fossil fuel is like
I know they say it's dinosaurs, but what if like it's literally humans?
just
like,
anything that dies just
but
excretes and seeps into the earth and just.
well, they say there's like not enough morgues and stuff. What if they're just finding a way to
Just
Ivan's ooze us into fossil fuel, and they're like, yeah, you're burning grandma as you're going down the road. That sucks.
just driving with a tank full of grandma.
I always wonder that, like, if you get somebody cremated, how do you know that's them when they give it back to you? How do you know? Do you know?
Aren't you like standing?
What if they just take your?
Aren't you like
Skeleton,
standing
man.
next to it when they're doing it? Like a little
No.
cremation ceremony.
I've
or
had
something?
people
Or
cremated
you
in my
just, like,
family. It's almost
did
like they
you
get
just
shipped
go-
off and they come back.
You
You
just
don't know.
stop by the morgue or stop by the funeral home and
They
they're
send
like,
you a
here's your
fucking-
urn.
They send you a sack.
Really?
Yeah, you have to get your own urn.
So they send you a sack.
Fucking sack of dust, bro.
A sack. Just a sack of dust.
It sounds
just
like a
shows,
country
like-
song, bro.
Yeah,
But
when we die, bro, that's like
that's all you are.
That's how I am,
dust,
like-
bro.
it's like I don't want a funeral. I want like a celebration of life.
Just fucking vacuum me up. Pops. That'd be
Just
like
empty out,
something.
like you pull off the button back of the vacuum, and then you're like, that was easy, you know. You just open it and dump it into a bag.
Just goes in with like some old dumpster trash. But they always say like this. There's so many reasons I believe in God and stuff like that. But one of the reasons, there was a thing back in the day where they weighed somebody before and after death, and they were lighter after they died, not like immediately, like your soul left, and then he got the weight of a soul from that.
Wow.
I was like, damn.
Wonder if there's any
And they kind
groups
of
of
shut that
people
down.
or like religions that like just keep that. Like, what if they like believed like the more good that you do in life, the heavier your soul is,
Or lighter.
or lighter?
Either way. They say a lot of stuff is density.
Why would it be? Oh, if it was lighter, then they'd be like, oh, he's got no soul. It's like,
that makes
you know what I mean?
Yeah, like his soul is
He
too
a
light.
light.
He a little soul, man.
Yeah, you just got like your soul's too light, so you didn't do
Yeah.
anything.
That makes sense. And when a song has soul, it's like heavy. It's not like some light, like.
Yeah, like
Got some
when you hear
soul
somebody
to it.
singing and their voice is like that crisp, like whole sounding voice, and you're like, oh, he's got some soul in him.
Yeah.
It's like,
That
wow.
makes sense. They say, you ever heard that gravity is density? Secretly?
What do you mean?
Like really, there's like pretend like there's
Like we're just in really, because
Like
technically
thin water.
there's water and air.
You see, you get it, bro.
I
You
know.
get it.
I'm saying, dude,
You
like
get it.
we're just in really thin water,
What if we are?
like super undense. Well,
I mean, technically we are,
non-dense
right?
water, undense.
Are we in dense air or? There's a lot of air in
Thin
our
water.
water, bro.
You know.
Yeah.
And then there's humidity, so there's like the air's. You could feel the air being thicker, so it's just thicker water.
If an
So,
angel
and-
came down here, they'd be like, "Damn, it's humid," because they're from
Yeah.
a higher, drier, maybe place.
Maybe. Well, I mean, they say the water's above,
Oh, water's above too.
so like
They could be swimming too. What if there's angels that are mermaids, bro? Because then they're just swimming up there.
maybe that's what mermaids are.
Fuck.
Damn.
Damn, bro.
No.
That's crazy. And
I feel
space is
like-
like a super fluid too. So if you believe in space, you can still believe in all these different things. Because space.
Have you seen those? Have you seen the flat earther like posts where they show a video of a rocket like going off and it's like
Ripples.
yeah, it goes like how a jet looks when it flies low over the water. There's like
That's
that ripple.
crazy, bro. It really is crazy.
It is.
It's like
It's
the mirror
like-
world. Some people say it's like a donut, bro. Like the way it wraps around. It's weird. There's lots of different.
You ever
flat-
seen the show The Magicians?
No, but I've heard of it. I've seen it.
Well,
Like,
they
up
show
there.
like different planes of Earth and like different like dimensions, and one of them like literally it shows like the Earth, but it's like in the shape of a donut.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's kind of probably exactly that same thing. And there's like a lot of hidden jokes about donuts and stuff like that.
What do you mean?
Like, I don't know. They just kind of, it's like a pop culture reference, like The Simpsons, who predicted a lot of stuff. And then I watched a video one time saying something about the Marvel, and there's that giant donut like Iron Man's in, and they connected it really a lot smarter than I can do right now. But
You see like some of the posts about the Simpsons just predicted, you know, whatever, and then sometimes it's like somebody will make a Simpsons clip and it's AI, or they'll just make it and it's like really close looking to the Simpsons. You know, if you don't watch the Simpsons, like you've watched all of them or whatever, and I guess you can't really like tell the difference, but like they'll say like, oh, they just predicted this, and so it's like, how are they? That's the other thing I'm wondering. It's like how are certain movie writers and show writers,
doing that.
are they going to the Vatican and taking a peek into that looking glass?
Dude, I was just about to say that, dude. I was just about to say that. I swear to God. I think there's so many things. Like, Tesla, when you start looking at him, there's so many time travel connections and stuff. And then, like, have you seen that movie Tomorrowland? It's dude, it's such a, like, a
What's it on?
low flying movie. Nobody knows about it. It's on Disney now. It's a Disney movie, but
Really?
it used to not be. They
Is it a
didn't have a
cartoon
freaking
like Disney movie, or is it like
It's
just
a-
on Disney?
It's a George Clooney regular movie,
Wow.
and it's not old.
Well,
It's
George
crazy.
Clooney's in it.
Yep.
Oh
And
wow.
it's not old, bro. It's a newer movie, but they talk about Tesla and Edison and all this stuff, and just the more you hear about. Did you ever watch the Tesla experiment with that? It's kind of almost like it's the guy from Skinwalker Ranch, that redhead kind of
Yeah.
burly dude. It's crazy what they talk about, like the wireless stuff. But long story short, Tesla could have escaped to the future, or he did die, and Trump's uncle took over all of his papers
Wow.
and stuff like that.
Dude.
Can you imagine escaping
The
to the
Avengers
future?
of Baron Trump.
That too, dude. Something's up with Trump Jr., bro. Or not Trump Jr., but Baron Trump. You know what I'm
Dude,
saying?
I just recently saw like how he looks now into a picture of how his dad looks now. That could just be like, there's a lot of people out there that look exactly like their dad.
Right.
Like when they were younger and growing up. Like my middle brother,
That's right.
he looks like very, very similar, like almost identical to my dad. And so like that could be one thing, but to say like he's just a clone of Trump just to keep Trump going, like, I don't know, man. Possibly, but
What if it is Trump?
I mean, it could be.
What if have you ever seen the Atom Project?
Technically, like,
Have you ever seen the Atom Project?
yeah.
Just like that. He goes and grabs his younger self, but they do look a little different, you know, in some aspects, but they look a lot like identical, but like the hair color and stuff, I don't know. You know, maybe
Yeah.
unless Trump is secretly dyeing his hair. There's so many things we don't know. People just assume stuff in regular day. Oh, Trump's got blonde hair, so he's got blonde hair. So the same thing,
Sometimes it looks fake blonde.
it
Kind of.
does. And you know,
Not that it is. We're not taking a stance. on
right?
it.
No. But that ties into the Lucifer Trump Elvis connection, bro. That thing is.
Let's talk about that.
You know what I'm talking about?
Because, yeah. So
It's crazy, bro. Have you ever seen? Before we do that, have you ever seen Jimi Hendrix draw Elvis? Jimi Hendrix.
Jimi Hendrix,
who
like the
people-
guitar player,
Yep. Who people think is Morgan Freeman, judging by the teeth.
judging by the teeth, like the way the teeth look, or like
That's one way to track these
DNA
people,
from
bro.
their teeth.
No, the way they look. Teeth records is so if somebody dies, you know, teeth are one of the only ways you can figure them out. That's one of the only ways you can track
And they
somebody.
don't break down in fire.
I don't know, isn't that crazy?
People like burn them down. They keep their teeth. It's weird.
That is weird. Makes you
Serial
wonder what
killers.
it's really made of, you know? Sometimes I wonder if we're like made out of stuff but who does this look like to you?
Trump.
Bro. And then people say Elvis is Trump. Here, let me show you who does that look like? We'll put it on the screen another way if I have to, but dude, that is Trump, bro. So what if Elvis and Trump somehow, and Elvis also had a twin brother, so some people think this is the twin brother or something, and you know something crazy? So he's got blonde hair there, right? But we only know Elvis is having dark hair. But what the fuck do we know? We weren't there. Maybe old people got brainwashed over the years. They just put dark hair pictures in. But Elvis, I believe, was known for dyeing his hair.
Huh.
So get that.
Did he have blonde hair then?
Maybe he's Trump.
Well, you know, it's interesting, the fact that what's that actor's name? He was on like
That's insane.
he was on a Disney Channel show and he ended up playing Elvis. Remember the guy that was like, "Oh, I talked like Elvis for so long when I was making the movie, and my voice just stayed like this."
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I don't know his name, but I know exactly.
I mean, look up.
Oh, I got something to blow your mind here in a minute. Okay. Let's see.
We gotta figure out what that guy's name is.
It is Austin Butler.
Austin Butler. So his hair is blonde.
So they're really trying to stick with it then, maybe.
Maybe. I don't know, because there's always like those Easter eggs in certain movies.
There is.
Where you're like, did you know that
Wait
the
till you-
director included this in the film to
Yeah.
hint at this? And you're like, okay, so we can watch these movies like 100 times, and actually it's different every time. So look up, did Elvis dye his hair, and what was his regular hair color? Or what was his natural hair color?
I think I remember. Yep.
He started dyeing his hair black as a teenager to emulate his idols. To make his blue eyes stand out, he famously used products like black shoe polish. Wow.
See?
And they used to use like actual grease for hair gel too. So
And-
what was his natural hair color?
I don't know. I'll look it up in just a second. But even Trump posted this. I mean, and if you ever seen the side by sides, I know it's hard to see, but
When it puts
symmetry.
aside, the symmetry is huge.
But yeah, symmetry doesn't lie, bro. If we and you put our face together, it would
We
look
would
weird.
it would be better if they had like a older picture of Trump
Right.
to put side by side, because like
And all the
when
Trump,
you get older, your ears get like much bigger and your nose gets longer, and
right.
so if like it'll
And
determine how you look when you're old.
Trump only has like 3 pictures when he was younger. So it's almost like as a boy, I'm saying. That's not even
Well,
him.
back then, it's not him.
But they use that as evidence for that. You know what I'm saying? But
All right, what was Elvis's natural hair color? Blonde. Blonde? That's crazy. Wow. I don't know. We don't know, but that's why we're here. That's why we're talking about all the things we just don't know, so we can speculate.
and then there was something to the effect of I can't remember if it was Tesla or not. I think Tesla had a device where he saw into the future too, and this always has to go back to high electricity. Like it just does, like time travel, anything. It just requires massive energy, and it's almost like a Sith thing. Infinite
think-
power.
Do you think Tesla, with all the technology he had some kind of backup plan for himself? Somehow, some way to like
I wish to think so,
either
but
like put himself into another person so that he could keep, like, because people who are that deep, like Tesla was like a hermit. He stayed inside and was always doing his research and always working on something. So like, why wouldn't you try and figure out a way to make sure that the things that you were doing, like you would always put the experiments first if you're that guy.
right. So it's almost that's what makes me think hope that it's like he could have got lost in that though and not thought about a backup plan or got
That's
so
true.
wrapped up
That's
in
the
that
other
his
like
mission.
downfall of like, but why would you risk letting that die, like that kind of research,
It's
that
hard.
level of like wondering and trying things?
I think it's just hard. Like you're already trying to do so much. You're using all your brain capacity to save the world, and people like
Or maybe he knew another Tesla will always come around. So we got Elon now, so that's like
maybe.
he named his company Tesla. Like maybe.
I just think if he got away fully, would he let his masterpieces fall into the wrong hands, like he did, kind of? That's the part that worries me.
Well, J.P. Morgan. J.P. Morgan's one of our banks now.
And the guy that made
And,
the lights, Edison, was always against him too. And JP financed him, yeah.
And JP probably turned it around to Edison, was like, well, this guy wants to turn it into a massive profit. And so Tesla already figured out how to create electricity. Well, this is after Edison, and JP wasn't around. But there was probably, what if there was a JP back then? If we're sticking to the idea that people can just continue themselves on throughout history into a different person, what if, JP was back then when Edison, because wasn't there something where like so and so had discovered electricity, but then Edison got the credit for it or something like that?
It was basically
Ben Franklin, right?
Probably, but I know the big rift between.
Oh, that's right. Ben Franklin, he discovered electricity, right?
I don't know if he
Well, not
discovered
discovered
it, but
electricity,
there was
but,
that
like-
moment with the kite and the key and all that. I don't
And
know.
then, but somehow Edison came out with the light bulb.
Right.
So it's like,
And then the big rift between Tesla and Edison was AC versus DC, because AC was like it's like that power.
alternating current,
Yeah, exactly.
direct current, yeah.
And then it takes a lot more energy and time to do the direct, instead of the AC that Tesla came up with. But
Yeah, so maybe like the funding goes to the guy who is also smart but just coming up with a way to make a profit from it.
Right. He's slimy. He's willing to. Cares about money. He
As
doesn't want to
soon as
help humanity.
he heard free energy, JP turned around and pulled funding.
Like, fuck you. Yep.
He pulled the funding, so like because he was coming up with these Tesla coils to, you know, energize the whole world, not just the United States.
Right. We could all have free power, bro. They proved it on that show. On that show, do you remember the boat? They had it. They made their own little Tesla coil. They had a boat running. No battery in the boat. No battery. That motherfucker was zooming.
Just going,
because it was picking up the wireless stuff. So if even the pyramid, some people think the pyramid was the giant Tesla coil. I mean, all that.
Yeah,
Imagine
well,
running
like
a
the
whole
way that it, and there's like canals for like water in it and stuff.
right,
So
to make
maybe
it
it's like,
giant.
excuse me, I'm gonna sneeze. We can edit that out.
Bless you.
I'm gonna sneeze. Excuse me. So isn't there like passages in it where it seems like water can come in and flow out, and it like fills up and
Yeah.
like
It's like a layer upon layer upon layer upon
it's just
layer
a
of
generator.
yeah. It looked like there was like nuclear generation from the.
But why did they get it so perfect? Isn't it like within a couple degrees of perfect north?
Probably.
Like
It lines up with like
true
that
north.
that star system. It lines up. Its dimensions are like the Earth's dimensions and shit.
Yeah.
All kinds
Like-
of shit.
Why? What were they doing that for?
What if
and-
what if it was the Tower of Babel and we don't even know?
No, because
It
the
couldn't be
Tower of
that
Babel
tall.
got destroyed.
It did. Yeah, it didn't get destroyed.
There is ruins of the Tower of Babel.
Where?
I don't know. Let's look it up. Where are the ruins of the Tower of Babel?
Wait. Before we do that, can I show you that thing?
Yeah.
So that Barron Trump thing. So Tesla, I believe this was. Yeah, this is a. He was drawing the future. Tesla was. And look what he drew. Now we're gonna have to verify all this stuff, but this is one of, and there's another image that says Trump and stuff like that, and Trump's uncle took Tesla's paper.
What are these?
I don't know, but it just adds, and then you got the Biff layer from Back to the Future, and then you got all these context clues, and then Steven Spielberg made that movie. He's behind disclosure. He's always like the guy pushing truth in plain sight, like
Steven Spielberg made Back to the Future?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But I don't even know what this is. I don't know what any of this stuff is, but I mean, it's just odd that it says Trump. Let's see. This is another one that says Trump right here. And 47? It says 47, bro.
When we figure it out, by the way, we're going to put the stuff that we're looking at up on the screen. But I'll kind of give a little description of what we're looking at. So, Tesla apparently did some drawings and stuff.
Oh, it's an artist named this, that, I guess. I heard it through connected to him, but this is an artist I've seen it. Let's see.
So there's an artist from way before Trump was even born with Trump's name at the top of the drawing, and there's all these kinds of like little concoctions and little like capsule looking drawings and some kind of like
It's hard to describe. It
it
really
is hard to describe. It almost looks like an arc on wheels, but
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
or like some kind of like circus wagon or something. For now, this is what we're looking at. What is that though?
I don't know. But it almost looks like an American flag right there, too. Like, you know?
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yep. And it's red, white, and blue. It's red, white, and blue stripes with Trump's name on it. That's crazy.
He was the 45th, right? And 47th? Or no, was he? Which one was he? I know he's 47th, but I forget which.
How many? Well, let's fact check it real quick. Look up how many years did Biden, because, you know, it's all a blur. COVID was a blur. And that leads into another thing. I feel like COVID put a pause on everything, and
Very odd.
it is weird because it seems like summer and
45th
winter.
and 47th, bro?
Okay, so in that picture that we showed there in the bottom right hand corner, it said 4547, which, and then there's Trump's name on what looks to be a flag, and it's red, white, and blue stripes.
Let me fact check this on, because we can always edit stuff.
I like where we're going with this Trump thing because, we just had the 250th anniversary, and not like we're looking into Trump for any kind of like weird things. So what if he's, if Barron's a reincarnation of himself? Like, if our country's doing well, which it seems to be doing well, and however you want to look at that, and however your definition of doing well is.
He could be here as a good thing. Maybe he saw a nuclear fallout that he tried to prevent, or
if we're saying he's a time traveler, like maybe
it could be looked at, yeah.
And maybe the best thing is for his son to be the next president. Like, if he were going to be president, if his son was going to be president, I would say that it would go Trump, then JD Vance, and then I wouldn't be surprised with all the things that are happening now, like Trump or Barron being the youngest president we've ever had. But that's not crazy though, because back in the day we had in Britain, we had kings and queens that were like 13, 14 years old, just running the country.
Right. I mean, even in Egypt there was little kids running the countries. That's crazy.
There's that one movie with Robert Pattinson when he plays the French, like prince or French, like I don't know who's in charge of the French.
I don't know if I've seen
It's like the king. And then it's Robert Pattinson and Timothy Chalamet. It's a really slow movie. There's a lot of like monologue in it, or dialogue when they're just going back and forth, like having a conversation. And like these guys, like Timothy Chalamet plays, like when the king dies, whoever's in line next is gonna be king.
Right.
Unless if like the oldest one has like some kind of mental thing and can't do it, or has left the country and doesn't want to do it, or for whatever reason, whoever's the oldest and next and capable by their standards of capable is, it didn't matter how old they were. So like 13, 14 years old, and you have this little kid, like no hair on his balls, nothing, just running the country.
Yeah.
And choosing war and like going to war with another 15, 16-year-old kid in charge of an entire army.
It's nuts.
It's nuts. Like, so it's honestly not that surprising if Barron ends up being president after JD Vance.
Right.
Because I'm assuming the state in which our country is now, it's most likely, like, who would be, did you see that there was some woman in New York, some congresswoman or something, saying that she was going to run for president?
Doesn't surprise me though.
It was some Hispanic lady, I think. Like, not just like she's got tan skin, but like you're in New York, so like, I don't know, could be Italian, but no, I just think that wouldn't be that surprising if Barron ends up becoming president and becomes our first like youngest president since ever.
He could be, you know how they say the last president? That's another one of those cryptic books.
There is a lot of people saying
That's
that
named
Trump will be the last president.
What if they change it to something else? A war breaks out tomorrow, and now
and he's just like standing
now he's
president
the
until
elected leader, some of excellence.
he becomes Kim Jong-un.
Yeah, exactly.
Like our supreme leader.
Exactly.
So
You just never know.
why are we the only country that
People say JD
seems
Vance.
to have like a time frame on their presidency? You can
Uh-huh.
serve 2 4-year terms. So
Some people think
Obama
Trump,
served 2 consecutive terms, 8 years, and then Trump. So Obama, then Trump, then Biden, not Trump.
Have you heard the theory? How would you make that extend though? Think about this.
It'd have to be written into Congress, like
But
he's been writing all these things into Congress.
think outside the box though. How
That's
could
what
you
we're
do that?
doing.
I know, but
Let's go even further out.
this is wacky. But I've heard this. What if how Biden doesn't look the same?
Yeah, there's like multiple different.
What if Trump wanted to stay president for an extra 4 years, or however long Biden served? What if he was in charge of that standing that whole time? That's a theory I've heard, where he was president, and then how do you get an extra term? You don't go the second year. You have a standing, And then
there's some like fine print that says in this specific case.
maybe that too. But what if? See, some people think Trump was part of the military. The military knew about all this Epstein shit and all that. This is the Q theory almost. The Epstein, they knew about the Epstein shit.
QAnon?
Yeah, it's almost like that. I haven't really dived too much into that. But so Trump needed more than 8 years to get this shit done.
What is pause? Real quick. What is Q? Is Q like the deep state?
That's
or not the deep? No, well,
they say it's the
Trump,
good guys.
Trump says
the good guys in
like,
the military. High, blah blah blah.
Trump says like there's a deep state and that they're against the deep state, and so Q must be like his version of the deep state. So
they say it's the white hats of the deep, like that know about the deep state. They wouldn't even be considered deep state because they don't control as much. But
there's always like I've seen like little clips of posts on Twitter or whatever on X saying that like he does the little hand signal where he'll like point and do the little Q symbol. So it's like QAnon. Is that R? Or
some
Trump?
people
I say R, but
some people think QAnon is the whole Kennedy family.
Huh.
Still trying to be in power. Like there's
like
one that's still alive.
The side of Kennedy's family that was
ready to take over the deep state. Like Kennedy was amassing this army,
and they killed
Trump.
him.
And Trump just kind of took the reins of that because they were still ready to go. And then they say like.
Then they have JF Kennedy. Are they related? Right?
Who?
They are.
Who?
Is Kennedy Jr.?
Yeah.
The old buff guy.
Yeah, they're related. But they say that Trump was taken over by the military, and the military pushed to get Trump in there because they knew about the pedophiles and all this shit with Obama and the Pizzagate and all this shit. And then so he was like ready to do what they're bidding basically and stuff, and then that's why he also created like the Space Force and just all this shit.
Wow.
Because imagine if aliens are demons and stuff and this whole thing, and then you need a Space Force to fucking blast their ass.
It's crazy how like you take all these different imagine ifs, and imagine if it was this way, then you can like put together certain aspects of reality, kind of like what's going on.
Right. It makes me believe in God more, bro. All this shit. I don't know why.
I mean, so do you think aliens are demons, or do you think they're
I don't know.
aliens?
I think it's probably both.
Or do you think there's aliens and then there's alien or demons that disguise themselves as aliens?
There's something to like the Aryan thing. I don't know if they're fallen angels or they're Nazis in the future.
If demons can possess humans, they can possess aliens, right? Any life form.
You would think.
So, like, because there was that part in the Bible where Jesus casts the demons out of those two beggars and threw them into they turned them into pigs and turned them into swine.
What if you can only throw them into dirty stuff though? Because I feel like a demon would have a harder time possessing me or you than a murderer. So like, what if your energy level gets so low? And people say pigs are dirty anyway.
Do you think murderers become murderers because they're possessed? Or do you think murderers become murderers and then they get possessed to continue what they're doing?
I think
like they have their first kill and then a demon's like, oh, there's one.
It could happen like that.
Yeah.
Like somebody gets so emotional that they kill somebody and then the demon's like.
Or
but I also
maybe that's what the whole, like, speaking of emotions, last week we were talking about how the entertainment industry could be using our emotions as a battery, whether it's scary movies, happy feel-good movies, comedies, like, the whole Monsters Inc., where it's like the scare will fill up the tank, but also the laughter will fill up the tank.
Right.
So it's like,
just imagine like
any kind of emotion. So like once a human becomes emotionally vulnerable in some state, whatever it is, that's like the demon's opening.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Like a little window.
Like a little window.
They can't catch you. Like they're at the bottom of this wave chart, and there's angels and there's demons, and then like you're like
we're like somewhere down there. Yeah,
they
exactly.
grab your ass.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a crazy way to put it.
Dude, you want to know something?
It's a very like mentally visual way to think about that.
It is. And you know what's crazy? This reminds me of something. David Wilcock, that guy that from Ancient Aliens that got killed. Right before he died, he was
got
talking.
killed.
Oh, well, sorry.
Killed?
He killed himself.
He killed himself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
But right before he died, he was talking about. I don't even want to tell you yet because it ties into the movie I see.
Did you can't be on a
disclosure
conspiracy podcast and be like, I don't want to tell you.
No, the disclosure.
Oh,
I don't want to.
It's fine. I'm gonna watch it regardless.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna put everything together.
Okay.
So
he started hinting at how the dark forces in the government have gotten a hold of alien technology, and actually can go back in time and possess a hobo and stab somebody in the street that they want dead. I mean, what the fuck is that?
So are they
doing
that to kill somebody that was gonna become someone?
Maybe. Let me play this real quick for you, please.
So do you think if sometimes they possess, like, because we're talking about murderers, like, do they murder someone and then they're vulnerable, and then they get possessed to continue killing people?
It could tie into that.
Like the ones that go for women.
What if a murderer?
What if they're killing them before they give birth to somebody important?
Right. That too.
Like, plus, what if they can see? Like, what if they're not necessarily important? Like, they become like a Trump or a somebody.
Right.
But they are that one person that plays the has a part in the butterfly effect that causes something to happen, that causes somebody to make a decision, that causes somebody else to make a decision. You know.
Right. No, it makes perfect sense.
Like,
who knows how many Teslas could have been around that aren't here because of that.
Exactly.
And then it's blamed on a hobo, and it's really some Illuminati
or an immigrant, or sorry.
No, you're for real though. I mean, if you have technology to go back in time and be anybody you want for 10 seconds,
just to do something and then go back.
Possibilities are endless.
I mean, and then blame it.
Scary.
Why not be a hobo and then get it done
and then
instead of paying somebody like $1 billion to be a hitman or something.
Literally, we may pause this in the thing, but I really want you to see this.
I want to say something else. One of the things that I learned from whistleblowers from the cabal itself is that they have to work within something they call the rules, and this is very, very important.
I hope this is the one. There's two, and he's in the same setting.
The rules are a body of spiritual principles that they must follow in order to be allowed to exist. Now, what do I mean by allowed to exist? I mean that they are aware that there are benevolent forces that will prevent them from achieving their goals unless we give them permission
like
to
a
enslave
vampire,
us.
almost.
Now think about that.
I bought the TV, I put it in my house.
So why did they put this plan for 3 world wars on display in a book that's hanging there open behind glass in the British Museum Library of London?
What is
and those 3 world wars that they're
What
outlining
did
are
he say?
exactly World War I, World War II, and the war on terrorism. Because the rules
There's like a whole Albert Pike Freemason thing to that too. I think that might be what he's talking about, but
that they have to
this
tell
might be a
us
different
what
one.
they're doing. Therefore, if we allow it to happen, we have consented to tyranny, we have consented to enslavement. Now, if you get into the secret history of the cabal, this was rediscovered by Queen Elizabeth, the original Elizabeth that we've heard about from the 1500s. Queen Elizabeth's royal astrologer, a man named John Dee, who is the prototype of the wizard with the long beard, the hat, and
I got so much to tell you about
what he did was to rediscover through these ancient documents that were in the Vatican the technology of how to access what they considered to be spiritual beings that were useful to them, but what we would consider to be demonic or evil beings. These beings need to be accessed through a very complex set of rituals and ceremonies. You cannot just ask for them to show up. You have to follow very elaborate and specific protocols. If you follow those protocols, it's like having an IP address, which is what we use to...
This one's it. Sorry. That gives you a hint of that other one.
So is this some of the stuff that people think that this is why he got taken out or killed himself?
Which is primarily run by the Rothschild family. The Rothschild means red shield. which is all kinds of esoteric symbolism we can go into, which I don't have the time for. The Rothschilds financed Stalin and the takeover of Russia, the Bolshevik Revolution 1917, fund both sides of a war and control, which is run and that goes back to the whoever the Christian church says world think. And they're proactive in rebuilding all of the ancient.
Seen so much of that shit.
Oh my god.
I just gotta show you the one thing real quick though.
These depraved people can and summon these beings. Part of the big awakening that we're about to go through could be, and it's worse than you think. Back. Assisted thing.
Sorry to do this to you.
No, you're fine. I mean, you'll find, the part that we want to show for what we're talking about.
Right. But he literally talks about, he mentions being a homeless man and you're possessed by some nefarious guy in the military. I mean, dude, even the military, Jack Parsons, do you know about him a little bit?
Well, if we're thinking that, because earlier we were talking about
I love the military. I do love the military. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about...
I'm a veteran, by the way. I mean, obviously.
I'm talking about, there's not the people you wouldn't even know about. Behind the scenes.
Yeah, behind the scenes. Not your average,
not your
everyday
average guy
soldier or
that's not gonna,
sailor or whatever. But
most sailors and soldiers wonder this shit too. I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, here I am. I'm a sailor. Was a sailor. Always will be a sailor. But here I am, a veteran, wondering about all these things. I mean,
for sure. I mean, some of the best.
There's plenty of Navy SEALs that come on Joe Rogan that talk about all kinds of crazy stuff.
The Navy's the most
high up in the military that come out. I mean, that's what they have whistleblowers for. So we're not being I can't even speak. We're not even being whistleblowers.
We're not.
We're just.
We haven't said anything that hasn't been said already.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? But I love the Navy for this fact too. They're the most open-minded. I think. Everybody. I mean, I love them all. Maybe they can feel the most comfortable saying the most.
There's a lot to see out. There's a lot to see out to sea.
No pun intended.
No pun intended. There's a lot to see out to sea when you're out.
It's like being on a cruise, but all you get's all inclusive. It's all inclusive, but it's not all
inclusive. Freaking
kick your butt.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, I was trying to keep PG here, but yeah, dude, it's crazy, bro. What was the last thing we were saying?
If we're saying that,
the possession
of actor, or
I mean,
so there's a whole theory about the Draconians, a lot of them being actors and stuff, and they're the lizard people behind shapeshifters or whatever.
Top dog reptilians, basically.
Yeah, top dog reptilians taking actors' spots so that they can portray a movie and create some kind of narrative. And so why wouldn't they not only take actors' spots, but so they would have, if they're truly about this and they're advanced and they're experts in controlling a species, been around forever, controlling a species, why wouldn't they take every aspect that they could, military, so they're getting everything. Government control, everyday humans, so they're getting entertainment control.
Yeah,
it's if there is some alien species, which is actually, maybe but if there are aliens, and then there are angels and demons, and then there's certain demons that can possess aliens just like they can possess a human.
Right.
Maybe
if their wavelength is low enough, maybe
it's, maybe
that's why he said homeless person.
Maybe it's easier to possess aliens because, with the whole thing that we talked about last week, where the emotions fade out.
Right.
So
they created the perfect host for themselves.
Yeah.
Maybe even if it's just as human as it needs to be, or just as whatever as it needs to be. But you know what's weird about everything too? There's a big theory into the fact that it was the Nazis who were actually the ones who dropped Roswell. This guy who I respect, Jason Giorgiani or something like that. He really explains it well, how the Nazis might have been behind that, but that's a whole different topic.
Why would they be behind that?
They just said that they had that technology at the time. They had these saucer crafts.
Well, there is the bell.
Yeah, the Glocka.
Yeah, the Glocka. there's the bell, the Nazi bell or whatever they came up with. So
Interesting
like,
Bell Industries too.
it shows, huh?
Like AT&T wasn't that originally Bell?
Hmm.
I don't know. Like I'm just thinking.
Whatever happened to Singular?
I don't know.
Singular
Probably got
raising the
bought
bar.
Probably got
Remember that?
bought up by somebody else.
Probably.
But
Maybe AT&T bought them up.
But if you had see, this is another thing too that's crazy. Do you think the Nazis fled to
So the Nazi bell is like, I saw, ancient aliens and, they bring up pictures and drawings and stuff, but they're just drawings.
Mount
There's
Titicaca?
Yeah, Mount Titicaca.
I'm always like, damn.
There's pictures of it like suspended and like kept with chains.
It's a hair on the bottom of that one, man.
I'll get it.
Yeah, I
Thanks
know
for looking
exactly
out.
what you're talking about, bro.
Yeah, it's like held,
Yeah, looks like it would have been
it's
like
not held up with chains. It's like being contained with chains.
right.
So
That's power.
and then nobody can find it
right.
anywhere.
If Zap to the Future. Have you heard of Mark Madden? You know Art Bell? This ties in, I swear to God. But Mark Madden,
Tell me.
he's a guy who claimed to be a time traveler, and he explained it really well. He built a Jacob's ladder, which is like a device like this, and it's funny, the pun intended with the Jacob's ladder religion stuff, but like it has that little zappy thing that goes.
Oh yeah. Okay.
He threw a screw in there. Long story short, and then realized it like disappeared and then like came back. Well, he claims to have like time travel using high energy. But that makes perfect sense with the bell thing, because the higher energy you'd have to contain it. Like, just imagine someone with so much energy just.
Yeah, well, they didn't know what it was gonna do, because it's kind of like one of those experiments, almost like Frankenstein. Like, you stick to it for the sake of the experiment, but then you're like,
Right.
we created a monster. What if they created, like, think about nuclear bombs. Like, we created the power of the sun and contained it and then dropped it and then just boom. Like, imagine the testing that they did on it. Like, they didn't know, like, they set themselves a certain distance apart based off scientific calculations. The blast should be this big, but they've never done it. So how do they know? Like, they could have gotten cooked that day.
You never know. My dad's super old, and he said like he's like in his 90s right now. This is random. But my dad's like in his 90s, so he was around whenever that stuff was going on. And then he said that at the time they were talking about how it might cause a chain reaction, just boom, 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 and the whole world's gone. So they didn't even know. They're just like, yeah, fuck it. Bloop.
They just flipped up the little glass thing, hit the big red button, and just hope for the best.
Hit that easy button, that Staples easy button. But and then two side notes. He said he was out. He was like a big beach bum back in the day. He said one of the days he was out there, they thought there was an explosion out there, and it was around the testing times. And he said the waves were so big it knocked him into like the rocks and like cut all.
Is it one of the ones they bursted over just like right over the water?
Probably Bikini Bottom or some shit.
Oh.
But damn, I was gonna say something else about that too. Oh, but get this. Imagine, let's take a bird's eye view of this even more. Imagine if all warfare is mental warfare and nothing is, well, like obviously some things are real, but like the biggest of things aren't real. Because have you ever heard the theory that hydrogen bombs aren't real? There's a theory for everything, bro. I know. I feel like they're real. But I'm willing to look at everything.
The whole there's the Hamilton.
And then the building.
That's a clip. That's a clip. There's the Broadway show Hamilton that talks about Alexander Hamilton. There's a part in there where they say like no one else was in the room when it happened. So like, dude, there was a handful of people in the testing room when it happened.
Yeah,
so like,
that's
all
true.
we've seen is footage. of these explosions. All we've seen is footage of the moon landing. All we've seen is
Exactly.
as soon
What
as
if
they
it's all
figured
in
out
the brain, bruh?
like they could they could have just like for real though, they could have
It
just
could
put it
be.
in our head.
Dude, to get this though, okay? So
And that ties back into just keeping us in fear. If we're not laughing, we're screaming.
what if we're these
But
powerful?
either way, they're getting something to fill up their batteries, you know?
For real. What if we're powerful beings that make reality, and then they're like
But
suggesting
they can
thoughts?
manipulate it.
Yeah, they're like suggesting these thoughts to us. They're like,
So what if
Doom
we're
and
the ones
gloom,
who
doom and gloom.
can manipulate reality,
I bet
but
it
they
is.
push the narrative so that the reality that they want,
yes.
which
I
is
think that's
makes
right.
sense why these evil beings or demons or whatever would want to keep us from turning to God, because
Right.
if we all came together and turned to God, then maybe this reality turns into heaven on
Right.
earth. Just
Yep.
like all these 80s songs like,
Yep.
"Ooh, baby, do you know what that's worth? Ooh, heaven is a place on earth." Dude, there's some
See?
songs
And
that are a little bit more
they're all kind of real.
hidden messages than the songs that are coming out today.
I believe it. And if you think about it, angels,
And all those guys were on LSD.
the devil was like the king of music, right? So there's truth in that.
Prince of Darkness.
Well, they always say like he's connected. So I forget even why,
It's
but
connected to the entertainment industry, which is like
one of those guys was the king of
supposedly
the band of
connected
heaven.
to the entertainment industry. And a lot of that is like the music industry, so
And then that's why so many of them are still good. I mean, sirens, they used to call pirates in to kill the ships and stuff. I mean, if you think about it, if like Beyonce was a siren, calling in all her fans, follow me, and then she does something bad or she votes for Obama,
they use them for
whatever they want.
whatever they want, yeah. It's just a game.
I forget if it's Lucifer or something, but one of them is like really in charge of the music of heaven.
You're talking about one of the angels?
Yeah.
Okay.
I forget why.
Lucifer literally had the voice of an angel.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, that's the music industry theory.
There's a lot to that, bro. I mean, even these people like
So we're
People
just
came-
batteries who knows what they use our energy for? What would they use our energy for? What's the theory on what they would use it for?
well, we use energy to
Because they don't need it for
survive
crafts.
and for
Because their crafts are like, if they can,
convenience, entertainment.
if they can do everything from the
survival.
mind, yeah, like maybe it's all for their entertainment. Maybe they're just bored at some level, like we're all just bored, kind of.
Have you ever heard the Muslim jinn thing expanded?
No.
There's like Iblis, who's like basically the devil, and some people say he really is the devil, but he's like some sort of smokeless fire being of some sort. And then so God made them first, and they have like their own people. Like on Star Wars, it would be like a whole bunch. Have you ever watched the? No, well, I don't know if you've seen that, but it'd be like a whole planet of people. And then God made humans after, and then he's like, humans are better than you. And they're like, fuck you, no they're not. And he's like, yes they are. And he's like, this human made out of mud and clay, it's not better than me. And then I'm not gonna bow down to it like you tell me to. And then so it created that whole thing, and Iblis was like a high rank jinn and was like pissed off about that. So another theory, but damn, there's something to the music thing. I forget what it was.
I feel like after disclosure, I'll have a better idea of how to put things together, because that's how I am. I'm a sponge that takes information in and just tries to piece it together in a way that makes sense,
Sponge skinny bone.
and don't even know why sponge skinny bone. I don't even know why I'm trying to piece things together, because even if you get the answer, like, what does it do for you?
We're still gonna have to go to work.
Yeah, we're still gonna have to go to work on Monday. So like,
Yeah.
what does it do for you? But if they're harnessing our energy through fear and laughter and, you know, likes, and I mean, turn that, social media is just like a new TV.
It
kind
is.
of. It's like capturing emotions in real time. So maybe it's just like a power booster.
I
So
agree.
they had like computers that we invented back then.
Right.
We had computers that were like they can compute, and they can, you know, you can then, and then it turned in we can search stuff, and then now we've got ChatGPT. So like, if humans, or maybe influenced humans with ideas, are able to create the next best version of technology, maybe there's a chance that they used, like we were talking about TVs, to harness some kind of, you know, we let the vampire in our house with the TV, you know, everybody's got one in their home, everywhere.
It's definitely influence, because there's no way you can win an election without a TV. I mean, you can run
Yeah.
for president and then try be like handing out flyers. The TV's
It's almost like a power boost in a way. If they're using it for that, it would be kind of like a power boost, because if they're going from harnessing our energy through television and the time that it takes to make a movie or a TV show,
Right.
well, now they can do live streaming in real life, and it's all happening right there, and then people are able to react.
Right.
With hit the reaction button, hit the
Right. And
like,
even if they
your
wanna,
likes. Oh my gosh, my mind just blew wide open. So think about it, like, your likes is technically your reaction to whatever you're seeing. So if they're live streaming and you're watching it live,
Right.
you can react instantaneously
Right.
in real time.
Right.
Instead of the time delay it would take for us to watch a movie, react to it, and then
Right.
they can take the emotional juice and use it for whatever they use it for. The question is, what do they use it for?
Right. You know
Because what gives them the need to take it from that slower reaction time to an in real life as it's happening reaction time?
Right. It's like a faster.
You think about it, because if the laughter fills the tank in Monsters Inc., but so does the screaming, then technically you can put a like or a heart. You know, you can spam the heart button on a live stream on YouTube, or you can hit like the angry face, or you can, like, you know, people get in there, and if they want to be outspoken, they get in there and they start commenting on the video.
While you were saying that, it made me think.
It's all reactions.
It is. It made me think. It's also taking energy away from the day to day and putting it into the digital realm, which has summoned its way into our life, and we're just shoving more and more energy into this digital realm instead of being like ha 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 with no camera, no offense, no cameras, no whatever. But you know, as you were saying that just kind of was a little thought that popped in my mind. I'm like, it's almost like they're pushing us into this. It's like that Toon World thing. What if that's the Toon World? They're just trying to push us into this metaverse. Mark Zuckerberg uploads.
Well, there's that guy Aiden Ross that has, you know, he's on Cake. He's like famous on Cake or whatever, and he is talking about having a server on Grand Theft Auto, the new Grand Theft Auto, where people can literally be a janitor in the game, and he'll pay them like $28 an hour to be a janitor in the game.
Dang, it's wild to think about.
And that goes with using, just like they would use some singer or something in the music industry to influence.
It's a great way to look at
They
that.
use influencers. We literally call them influencers.
Yeah, because they influence people.
We say everything right in front of our faces, and we just don't see it.
For sure.
Like, we literally call them influencers. So, like, we
And
know
they're propped
what they're.
up.
It's almost like we know what they're doing, but like we just, you know.
We go with the flow.
It's like we're a contradictive species.
Yeah.
Like,
we think about it, but we don't do anything.
we think about
We
it,
just
but
keep
we don't
going.
do nothing.
Yeah.
Because we like it to an extent enough to where we're like,
We don't want to get that whip too. Like, oh, I'll just fall back and like, oh, I don't want things to be
It's
uncomfortable.
like any drug where, you know, there's some people that like take it too far, but they're like, well, I know the drugs are bad for me, but they make me feel good, so they're kind of like, oh.
Right.
And then some people take them too far,
Right.
and some people are like find some kind of balance.
Right. Yeah, I think almost if you go in too much of the spirit realm, like if you're doing acid every day or DMT every day, you're gonna get whacked out because you're too far away from the matrix in a way.
Yeah, it's almost like you short circuit.
You forget how to be a person. That's why people come back and they're like, they're like trapped in limbo or something.
Even after I did mushrooms, I feel like I was a different person. Not like
I did too.
not like
Scary, but in a good
not
way.
in a scary way, but more like aware way, like far more aware than I was. Like growing up as a kid, I was always like very self-aware, but now I'm like very self-aware.
Yeah.
Extremely self-aware. And it's to the point where if people's energy is too strong in like a small space, like I can feel what their intentions are.
I wonder if we were always like that, or like super even more like that, like a damn avatar or something, and then it just slowly conditioned us into like a domesticated animal. You know, we're really these like, because I don't know if I mentioned this last episode or just told you at work, but the Greys being able to do the telepathic thing, they say we're super telepathic, but it's more of like a light, and light can go really far and observe and that type of thing, instead of like being like right close to you and be like, pick up that pencil. I couldn't do that, but I could see where you are if you're at the store.
So we're like headed in that direction.
Or we were in that direction and we were
Maybe what
devolved.
if we're the more advanced version of telepathy?
Yeah.
Because if we're not actually
they say
here,
they're scared of us. I heard that before.
Yeah, I've heard that too. What if we are like the more advanced version of that? So like, if we're here in reality, and
They're like an unrendered character.
yeah, it's like, what if being able to get here is a more advanced technique? Because if the real us is somewhere else,
Damn.
and
We're just playing.
maybe
this
that's where
character.
we go in the dream state.
I know. I wonder that too. Honestly.
But we come here and it's so different. So we have the ability to do that. But when we're here, we don't remember that we can do that until we fall asleep and we go into the dream world, which might be where we actually exist.
Where we can't eat pizza and drink and turn on the light. Maybe it's just something different. Maybe it's just like not. I don't know. It's too much. Like you can do anything you want, so we want to limit it. So we're like, let's have the human experience. This is nice.
Yeah, because it's like a dumbed down version of like experiencing life, but out there. So what if they exist in these other realms, and yeah, they can talk to each other in their minds, but like they can't quite, come here. So like humans could be interdimensional beings that project their consciousness into an avatar, into this dimension, to where we can have like what they call a human experience.
I think so. I think it ties back to that game thing where you're the salesman.
And that also ties back to the jealousy of the angels.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe free will is technically another term for what if we were created with this next level of, I guess telepathy or whatever you want to call it, to where
intuition
where we can put ourselves into here.
Right.
And they were jealous of that free will. So say free will is just a different term for being able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So then they got mad about it and rebelled and got cast out and was like cast out of that dimension. So they're like, fine, you're going to live in this weird in-between dimensional space where they still have
like a custodian.
They still have their advanced abilities that they had,
but they're at work in a way too.
Yeah,
and trapped
they're
in a way.
like trapped in a way.
It's like the daycare runners, and then where the kids run around getting to do whatever they want. And they're like, fucking kids, and then
and they just go home and they're like, yeah,
exactly.
they just maybe that's some daycare people that are just mad that they're not kids anymore. They
Yeah,
want to be
it's
the
like
ones that get to run
yeah.
around and do nothing.
Yeah, they're old, decrepit, and like think of an old lady. I mean, that's only lived 90 years. Some of these beings are probably 9,000 years old or some shit, and they're like, I fucking hate everything.
Yeah, maybe we just assume that they don't have like a awareness of time.
Right. What if time's only here? What if we want to experience time because there's a past, present, future, and we're like, remember what I did? But then up there, I can't even think of how that would work. But there is no real like past, present, or future. It's just like an ongoing thing. There's a lot of what ifs.
She's so offended. Look at her.
They say angels and stuff are like hermaphrodites and shit. And then if you look at old really old statues, this is a random thought, but they have like boobs and stuff, and like even the Baphomet is like a kind of like a transgender being, and
it's like a unisex type.
Almost, yeah. There's some movies that kind of hint at that too. There's a weird movie with what is it called? It's like called like The Prophecy or something. It's with the guy from Click, the old guy.
Oh yeah, I can
Christopher Walken.
Yeah.
He plays like, you know what's weird about him? He plays like an angel in a bunch of different stuff, like a dark angel, like an SNL and stuff like that. But in that movie, I think one of the guys dies, and they're like privates or both. But in old religious books, they talk about that a lot too. It's another interesting little fact. But that's a whole nother topic because
I think that's an interesting theory. I feel like we came up with a theory while we were talking about theories. The theory that maybe we're actually more advanced.
I think so.
Than aliens, and if aliens are actually demons, then that makes sense for the whole jealousy thing.
Jealous motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Makes me pissed off. I want to every once in a while, but
it's like, let's have this spiritual war. Why don't you, step outside per se,
and
step into the realm of,
put the laser gun down for a minute.
We're gonna fight you like on Scary Movie with a ring.
Yeah, no shit. Oh, that's another thing. The ring came out of the 2D space and stuff, but but
wow.
Yeah, that's another thing. What if they're trying to figure out a way they can do that? Pop through motherfuckers. Maybe, I don't even know, but
maybe the television screen is a representation of their side of the realm.
Broadcast, the whole magic thing.
Yeah.
Casting spells, broadcast,
spelling.
Live vision.
You ever heard that?
Yeah, I have.
They say that's why be careful what you say, because spelling is literally your words are like spells.
They say even English was like the witch's language. I heard. That's a rumor. I'm like, damn,
you're a witch.
Our whole language. Imagine that you just get a whole population and start talking in a witch language, and it's a lot of magic. Maybe that's why America stays ahead so much. Or
what if humans and demons could actually be friends?
Seems like Solomon had control of a few.
In the sense of like, what if we just had a conversation where it was just like, okay, yeah, we can do this, but y'all can do that.
Right.
Like, so we're special in our own way. So like, why are we mad at each other for it? Why?
There's probably some.
Why are you unhappy with the things that you can do? Why are you mad at us for the things we can do? Like, if God, like,
what if they have inherent
not to say this the wrong way, but like, why are you mad at us? Be mad at God. If he made us differently. No,
sorry.
We'll cut those parts out when the cat just pops up twice. Maybe somebody will like that. Who knows? Maybe we'll leave it in there. But not like encourage them to be mad at God, but like in our defense, like if we got created, then it's not like our fault that we were made this way.
It's like having a sibling and being like,
why don't you be mad at the person who made us this way and ask them why they didn't get created with certain capabilities?
It could also, yeah, you're exactly right, honestly. That's a great point.
But if they can't do anything to God because he's all powerful, then maybe their own way is to like be like, fine, you don't want to do this to us or give us this free will, then we're going to take it out on your creation.
Right. You love
Or
this.
we're going to turn your creation against you.
Right. You love this so much, let me ruin it. Just like when I
Yeah,
said,
it's like a mad kid kicking over a sandcastle
right.
or something.
Yeah.
So it's so mean.
Oh, you made a pretty thing, and then the sister or brother comes by and markers it. Or
Yeah.
some shit, you know, it's like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well,
Kicks over a sandcastle, draws on your drawing, breaks your toy.
yeah. And honestly, like, whenever you get the most away from working in the Matrix and everything, you realize it could be that, you know? The jealousy and the fallen angel, and then the... I mean, it honestly
Even
just
through
makes
like
sense.
pain, like we get to, like, could they be jealous that they don't get to feel anything?
Right.
So what if,
What if they're living in those...
what if that's why? Remember we were talking about why? What do they use it for? What if they don't have emotion? That was part of the free will package. The free will upgrade
Right.
was emotion. To be able to feel different emotions. Maybe they're limited to certain emotions so that they harness our fear and our pain and our happiness, not for some kind of power source to like drive some kind of system, but they're harnessing our emotion for
They're
their
literally-
own experience.
They're literally like getting high on our emotion, like
Yeah,
secondhand emotion, like
secondhand emotion. So what if like what if
Just a
they're
little, just a little
denied?
gray.
Like he comes in here, scares us or whatever, like sticks his finger in our butthole and was like, "We're gonna make another year.
We'll show him I
We'll
like
steal your
it.
sperm." Like, what if they're just obsessed with humans
Right.
to the point to where like
This fucking fanatic.
they don't? 'Cause if you think about it, people describe the Greys as like, you know, no facial features, no like need for like facial expressions or whatever. What if they are demons and they got created without the free will, which free will people think
Can't
'cause
reproduce.
they can't reproduce, can't like
No sexual drive. I mean, that would
no
eliminate
sexual
that.
drive. So what if they're not using it for some kind of power source? What if they're using it as some kind of drug? Like
Right.
they,
I'm gonna take some laughter tonight.
yeah, like 'cause
but for
what's-
real, it
what's
sounds
more
so
addicting
funny.
than like
having a good time?
having a good time or an emotion or like
No,
being able to feel?
no,
And then here we
I
are
agree.
contradicting it, where people are like, "Oh, I do drugs so I don't feel anything."
Right. I'm trying to
So
become
like,
an alien.
they're
You're spaced out.
it's so ironic.
Oh,
You're
it's a-
spaced out.
Damn.
It's so ironic to be like, you have, if we think aliens are this way, and just so everybody knows, in this sense of thinking aliens, because there's so many different theories of like what aliens are and what they're here for and what they do. If aliens are demons who have the lack of emotion or feeling anything, what if they're using our sexual drive, our emotion, our free will? If free will is more than just the ability to choose, it's the ability to feel,
Right.
whatever it might be, pain or whatever.
Right.
What
Heartache,
if
laughter, all
it
everything.
just seems like it's a full circle? They
Right.
use the entertainment industry, they use pain and suffering to put on us to make us feel it so that they can feel it.
Right.
So here we are contradicting each other.
Right.
So we're actually the same. So we could get along technically.
Right. But what if they
In a
don't want to
sense
get
of
along?
like, that's because they're blinded by their own madness of like being mad at us for the fact that we can feel. So like, what if we could help them feel and they didn't? What if we could help them feel
No.
and they just are too busy being mad at us to realize like, oh, maybe they can help us.
There's
Maybe-
probably going to be some that are like us and like, yeah, we can get along in their community, but then their top people are not going to let them.
So it's so ironic for the fact that they want to feel all this stuff, and then here we are saying it's too much, like
Right.
being this aware and
We're on both
feeling
ends
all
of
this.
the extremes.
Yeah,
Don't
it's
do nothing
too
or
much.
doing
So we
everything.
do drugs, we get drunk, we do all these things to like escape reality. And
Right.
if the term reality was changed to feeling,
Right.
because that's all it is. Is reality is like somewhere, some realm to where we can feel things.
Yep.
We can contemplate.
Everything's touch. Smells touch. Sight is touch. Hearing's touch.
It's just a
Because the
different form of
molecules.
touch.
It's
all
the
the
touch
same.
world.
Yeah. What if they don't get the luxury of the touch world? That's why they're always seen as like ghosts or like
Right. That's
demons
them
where they
without
can-
their skin suit.
they can manipulate stuff and move stuff around the room or whatever, but they can't like be here and feel what they're moving.
That is interesting.
So what if it's just like if they're picking up a lamp and throwing it across the room to scare somebody
Right.
to get a little hit of that fear,
Yeah, exactly.
but to them it's like your hands numb. You can feel the pressure of it, but
Right.
you can't feel
It's like a
what it feels like. So they're just numb.
condom for their
They're just
feeling.
numb beings that are jealous of us non-numb beings
Right.
who are constantly trying to be numb.
It's interesting that they were left with jealousy as an emotion, though. Interesting.
What if that's the ultimate punishment? What if they used to be able to feel everything we could, and then that got taken away
Right.
because
Now
they abused it?
now they poop out their skin and eat it. But seriously, that's a fucking punishment right there. God's like, fuck you. They're like, that's,
Yeah, if you think he
it's
can't
horrible. He'll fuck
creative
you
with
up.
punishment,
He'll fuck you up.
dude,
I love you, dude.
so clever, but damn, dude,
Yeah, damn, don't poop me, skin me.
don't poop skin me. Don't.
We never pissed
Don't
off God that bad, bro.
That's another reason why they're mad at us.
Yeah.
Because we were like, oh, dude, he can blow a Tower of Babylon away, dude. All right, we're good. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. I think honestly, like, even this sounds
Maybe
ridiculous.
that's just how it goes with every different version that he created. He gave them some kind of feeling.
Yeah.
And what if the angels were first? They're like the first creation.
Right.
And like he gave them the free will, he gave them feelings, he gave them, emotion and all that. And they just it was too much for them. They started doing all kinds of shit.
Power
And then-
corrupts. Type of
Yeah.
thing.
And then he was like, no, we got to take that away.
Yeah.
But he let them have it for too long to where they're like
It'd be like us banging monkeys and
he didn't
Goddamn
wipe
like-
them out, but he took it from them. So, and then gave it to a different species. And he's just waiting for us to get to the point where our emotions get too much and we just destroy ourselves, or we rebel against him in a way, or something like that. And
Isn't it
eventually
set to
he
be
just
that way?
takes it away again.
Besides
So what
that,
if this is just a whole thing where he's just going to keep making new species, giving them these two things, free will and emotion, or maybe that's all tied in one thing,
Right.
and seeing how it goes.
Yeah.
He's just like,
That's the one thing he really
it's
can't.
like a drug.
He can't predict it.
It's like a drug. He's like,
oh.
I'm going to make a species that can handle this drug.
Mm-hmm. God's a gambler, almost
Maybe.
in a way. Not really. I'm not meaning that disrespectful, but out of novelty and amusement and creativity.
Maybe
in a way.
he's a gambler. Maybe it's like, in the sense of like,
You know what I mean?
or
right?
scientists.
Yeah. I mean, what's the difference? In a way.
I mean, if we're made in God's image, why would that only mean looks?
Right. I always think of the
Creativity, yes.
He gave us that shit, bro.
Well, or we inherited it.
Right.
In the sense
That's
of
true.
like, we're always trying to. Here we are sitting here creating a YouTube video.
Right.
Like
We can
it
create
seems like
anything
it's
we
the
want.
only thing we can, like we're known for, is being able to create something.
Yep.
What if demons can't create? They can only influence others to create.
That's all the devil can do. It seems like.
That's all he can
He
do.
just twists and turns and mirrors, smoke and mirrors, God's creation. He can't be like dolphins.
Well, you know how in the Bible it says that God gave the devil the rule over earth for 7,000 years. What if that was just to let him be like, okay, let him try. Let him try to manipulate the humans and get them to create stuff, and then he'll eventually realize that he can only get them to do so much, and he won't be able to, or eventually he'll realize that he's not able to actually physically create something.
Right.
So
It
like,
probably
you
drives
can't
the
create
devil
something
nuts.
out of nothing.
Probably drives the devil nuts. He's like, fire. Fire! Every day. I just want to be like God. Fire! Yep.
But anyway, but just to segue back to where we're going, because we're going to wrap it up here, but to segue back to Trump, what if Trump was some kind of like, because of the way he can influence. Like basically at this point, it seems like he can influence like the world,
Yeah.
like the whole world. What if he's like able to go through time and then see what's gonna happen? So they send him back, and so maybe he's some kind of influenced person, or some kind of like. What if he's an alien?
Could be. He's odd looking dude. I mean, I bet if we saw him in person, I mean, I'm not trying to even be funny or anything, but his neck's kind of weird.
He's got a weird neck, dude. He's gotta be an alien. Man. His hair's too orange.
Yeah, I mean,
Trump,
but see, have you seen these Illuminati
Elvis
cards?
alien.
Have you seen the Illuminati cards?
No.
I'll show you these. I'll bring these next time I come. But see how he's got gold hair?
Yeah.
Charismatic leader. These are all like different cards in this fake game called the Illuminati card set.
Well, look at the face on that one right there. That's a Trump expression for sure.
Okay.
The guy to the
Holy
very right.
crap, bro. Dude. And there's another Trump card too. Damn, bro. That is completely a Trump expression.
Just saying.
Damn, bro. I'm proud of you for that one.
I'm observant in a dangerous way.
Yeah, you are. That's crazy, bro. I never seen that. Who's that look like?
Wow. Wow. Who is it supposed to be though?
Nobody. It's just a.
What are these?
It's like a kid's game for to play.
1995 Assassin's Illuminati in Woe card game?
Dude, the background almost looks like a COVID virus or something. Like some sort of virus.
What's in Woe? Introduction to New World Order?
I have like almost all these cards. It's called the New World Order card game.
Wow.
Dude, you gotta check it out. We'll save that for a different.
How did I guess that?
Yeah. It's crazy. Bro.
But yeah, so we're gonna wrap it up. I hope everybody had a good 4th of July, and hope everyone has a good start to the week, and look forward to our next episode next week for some more Sunday sales meeting. I'm Brett, and this is
This is Bob.
That's another clip. Oh yeah, Skinny Bob and Skinny Mike.
We're gonna have to get a Skinny Bob, aren't we?
Skinny Jim. We're gonna have to get a skinny Bob. We're gonna have him sit in between us, and we're just anytime we get stumped, we're just gonna turn to Skinny Bob and be like, "How did it get to that?" Anyways, see you guys in the next one.